Issues that we have, let's get through it. We were so good, let's resume it. Baby, on the night, we can prove it. We can prove it, baby, we can do it. Issues that we have, let's get through it. We were so good, let's resume it. Baby, on the night, we can prove it. Something's weighing heavy. Created too much pressure, this ain't healthy. We were all good, love was plenty. Now look at the cause.
Good afternoon and welcome. Yep, welcome to LAM Live number 57. Also, the first ever simultaneous in-person and live-streamed event. I don't think we've had one of those in the world before, but you know what? Isn't that what LAM is all about? The other thing LAM's all about? Well, it's a kink positive live stream for consenting adults during UK lockdown. A place for us to meet, chat, socialise while we can't. Although, to be honest, today we can. We're out in East London, or more precisely, the North London, East London border up in Hackney, Dalston Lane, in fact. And we've got an indoor market going on. So you know what? The weather outside, just a tad pants, not suitable for going to the park. So why don't you come and join us? Have some fun today, because that's what it's really all about. So come down, we've got stalls. We've got no bar, unfortunately, because that wouldn't be allowed. But we've got some great stalls on offer. Awesome selection of clothing, jewellery, floggers, latex. You know, these stall holders, they've been created during lockdown. They've not rested for a minute and they've come up with some awesome designs. And you know what? If you've not been to our recent events down at the farm or up in Bedfordshire, then you know what? You're missing out. Because I tell you what, we're not putting the best pictures online at the moment. It's as simple as that. You got to be in it to win it, as they say, and that's what it's all about. So what's going on today, I hear you ask? Well, got a slight confession to make. This is our first in situ live stream from a live event. So there are a couple of technical problems and a couple of glitches today. Nothing, unfortunately, we can do about it, but we'll do our best to come at you today and give you as much content as possible to keep you happy and entertained. You know what? If you're in London, you should really come down because it's a bit miserable out there. If you're elsewhere in the world, stay exactly where you are and enjoy the content that we've got for you. Unfortunately, the next slide is one of the ones that's not working at the second, although I'll give it one more try. Nope, it's not going to play the game today. And that was some slides from that awesome event we had down in Brighton a couple of weeks ago. If you came out, if you enjoyed the barbecue, you know what it was all about. And you know what? We're not resting on our laurels. We're certainly not letting these traders have a quiet time, because the week later, we were up in Bedford, another Saturday special. And oh my God, what awesome weather we've had on both of those. Anyone would think that I've got some deal with the weather gods going. You know what? It's a long-standing situation, that one. Every time we have an outdoor event, the weather's as good as we could want it to be. When we don't want good weather, you know what? We don't get good weather. It's as simple as that. But speaking of things to look forward to, well, the next event in LAM's schedule at the moment is the return of the Northwest. LAMchester returns on Sunday, the 23rd of May, with an awesome reboot at a new bar for us, Be Impossible, right in the centre of Manchester for an awesome event. Indoor shopping, outdoor beer garden, food available, And if you haven't seen the pictures, there's an amazing amphitheatre around the back. So if you do want to meet some people at a sensible social distance, I believe by that time we'll also be allowed to hug people. Try and hold on till then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone else in between. You know what? It's coming. We're coming. It's going to be one hell of a weekend, that one. Now, normally I would give you a bit of a warning and say, hey, heads up, there are adverts that we play during LAM Live, but you know what? They're all about our awesome stall holders, well worth watching. But unfortunately today, one of the technical difficulties, I can't play you the videos that I would want to that are integrated. I can only play you the workshop content. So you're going to have to take my word for it, or even better, check back on the previous weeks, because you know what? This is the 57th one of these. I'm pretty certain I've covered some of these adverts before. So if you're really desperate, slip back last week and see what you missed. One of the things you've definitely missed, Daisy's Floggers. I am so distressed that I can't play this today, because you know what? If you think her floggers are awesome and she's a talented person, you want to hear her sing. Simple as that. What a talent. What a creative input into our event. Simple as that. Other things that are awesome in input into our event, we didn't realize how many of you have been listening to us from around the world. And you know what? When we realized how many were out there, and it's about 50% of our listeners are actually not based in the UK, so it's a little bit difficult for you to come and visit us, particularly at the moment. So we decided to honor you with a simple little competition. It's easy to enter. You don't have to do anything other than shop with our stall holders. Simple as that. Then each month we're going to look at who's sending something the furthest, who's sending something in the most interesting direction, and they're going to win a prize. I haven't had a chance to ask the stall today who's been sending things to exotic locations, but last month it was F3 Works. Bit of a story to this one. It was only a small order. Turns out the postage was more expensive than the item. You know what? Couldn't let that one pass. They won all of their money back to go shopping again. Simple as that. Couldn't say any fairer than that. And you know what? I haven't worked out what they've bought yet, but having had a look at the F3 Work stall this morning, he's been doing some collaborations. He's been playing with a certain very colourful dildo seller, friend of ours, and has brought some of his own designs to the table. We're looking forward to that. Unfortunately, at this stage, I'm going to have to skip all of the fun adverts that I wanted to play you, because they're just not going to play on my system today, which is a pain in the backside, to put it mildly. And that does mean that you are probably going to get a couple of sessions of me talking. And I know some of you like that, some of you don't. But today, there's not a lot we can do about it, because few technical problems in the studio. But don't worry, we've got everything covered for the interesting part of the content. When it comes around to 2 o'clock, totally get the Kink shrink can't be with us today. She's ill, she's recovering. Please send her a message, send her some support, and let her know that we're all thinking of her. Simple as that. Hopefully she'll be back next Thursday. Can't say for certain, but we definitely want her back next Sunday. But you know what? Health is so important. Let her focus on that at the time being. But if you want to pass on a message, pop it into the feed, and what we will do is pass that on to her. I'm just going to say hi to everyone who are in the feed at the moment. And I hope you are keeping well and safe. I know Master Bone in Cambridge is keeping rather well. He's had a slightly eventful week, to put it mildly. But there we go, good sir. I'm looking forward to the chance that we can catch up, possibly go to that nice beer garden down by the River Cam, maybe for a bite to eat again. In fact, you know what? I think that man with the sausage van, he might have been friends with my friends down at the farm, because they were damn fine sausages. So be careful. I'm heading in your direction. I don't know when it's going to be. Sooner rather than later, one hopes. But there we go. So let's get back into the mix of things. And just to reaffirm what is going on, at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a slightly stilted newbie introduction. At 2 o'clock, instead of doing a replay of a healthy mental practices, we're going to do clear on consent in kink. If you haven't listened to that one yet, I highly recommend it. It's a project that the Kink Drink and I put together a couple of years ago just to really help people understand the importance of being clear in your communication, establishing consent, and doing all of those good, sexy, best practice type things. So that'll be coming up at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, I know she's down on the trading floor downstairs peddling her books, but you know what? Awesome of Zach to again have recorded something for us. This one, it's one that I messed up a couple of weeks ago, so I've slipped it in. If you're a fan of the bloodlust, if you're a fan of the vampires, this is definitely the story session for you. So that's coming in at 3 o'clock. And then at 3:30, we're going across to John, the Kinky Life Coach, and they're going to have another 30 minutes of adverts and comedy at that particular stage. Then, God, as if it couldn't get any better, we're going to have a workshop on new to exploring kink with myself and a number of other members of the crew. That one, you know what? Again, we've been looking at this and saying, with so many people coming out and discovering kink during lockdown, you know what? It's almost as if a little bit of enforced captivity and a little bit of bondage has brought it all up to the surface. So there's a lot of people out there who are new to this world. We want to make sure they get off on the right foot. So we've got some content for you to 4 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be back at the decks. And then I'm going to give you the updates to let you know what's going on, what events we've got planned over the next couple of weeks, months, etc. Because you know what? It's been so quiet. We've lent into it and we've made it as busy as we can for you. Really, you know what? Who needs these spare weekends in the month? We've been cramped up and locked up for far too long. It's time to get out there, party, and have a little bit of fun. Because let's face it, life without kink, really, is it worth living? You may as well, you know. Join the Tory party. Well, I happen to know there's a few of them that are a bit kinky, but unfortunately, they're not kink positive. They're the kind of kink, you know, like to beat themselves up about it, feel a little bit shamed, like to hide it, you know, guilty little pleasures of the Tory MPs and all that kind of shenanigans. But there we go. Bless their little cotton socks. Not as bad as the last lot that were in. The stories we knew about them. A couple of people, in fact, used to be good friends of George on all fours, but that's another story. I've seen those photos that they won't actually show on TV because you know what? When you walk out and don't pay your dominatrix's bill, you know you're going to get cut for that one, and not in the edge play kind of way. But there we go. So that's the shenanigans and what's going on around here at the moment. Unfortunately, I really can't link in and give you anything more accurate in terms of some content. So it is going to be very much focused on my voice today. But there we go. That's not ideal, is it? Let me just see if I can pull another advert, if it will play for me. No, it's definitely a problem I'm going to have with the system on this one today. What I will do just very, very quickly is I'm going to see if I can step out and if I have anything at all in my archive, I wonder. Let me see if I can pull something out of Dropbox where I've been working with some of the stall holders. No, in fact, that's not going to let me get into that because I'm in the wrong Dropbox on this particular laptop. You know, it's one of those, first time we've come out and done this, not without its challenges, to put it mildly. So that leaves me a little bit dead in the water, unfortunately. I'm going to just scroll through, see if there was anything that I had accidentally left in there. See if any of the stall holders had dropped me any presents. I think, unfortunately, all the stuff that is in here is very much the content that I'm not able to use on this particular platform. But there we go. It was a challenge, to put it mildly. Let me just see if there is anything for me in here. Ooh, now this might be interesting. Nope, these are all empty as well, unfortunately. So it is going to be my dulcet tones for a bit today. Let me see if there is anyone in the app. Yep, I've got Bone in the chat room. Go on, throw me a bone on this one, good sir. I don't know what we're going to do. In fact, I do know what I'm going to do. Just give me a few seconds. I'm going to be really cheeky on this one and a little bit naughty. I'm going to spool something up so that we don't miss out on Phil's good words for the newbie introduction. I think that's a good way of going forward. So I'm going to now leave you with a little bit of music while I just get all of that ready. brings us round smoothly, or not quite so smoothly. A little bit of a space there. And that brings us round to pretty much 1 o'clock. And that gives me the prompt to queue up the orientation for newbies. Now, because of the problem I'm having with some of the content here, it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid fusion on this particular one. So just bear with me while I get myself a tad orientated on this one. First things first, please. There we go. First things first, if you're not already a subscriber, please do yourself and us the favor of doing so. Slide over to that button. Go on, give it a good stroke. And ring that bell. You know you want to. It's the only way you're going to get notifications and what's going on. So, what else is going on? Well, I'm going to give you some reconfirmation of the Kink positive message. A couple of messages from me. Then I'm going to try and segue across to the newbie introduction from Phil. Then consent is like a cup of tea. And then try and tail off with some messages from Stalls and crew after that. So first of all, Kink positive. Well, what's this all about? It kind of sums up who we are at LAM. Our event, it's open to everyone. I don't care your age, your gender, your sexuality, your ethnicity, your background, your economic status. Really is absolutely irrelevant. This is all about people who come along, come together, and understand that this is about the positive influence that Kink has in our lives. We hope it has a positive influence in yours as well, but you know what? You can be completely vanilla. You can just enjoy the atmosphere of our event, and you can just come along for a laugh. You know what? You don't have to be kinky. We'd rather you were, but it's not obligatory. And don't worry, we're not one of those silly groups of people who are out there, we're going to corrupt the vanillas. No, come on, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why some people are vanilla and some people are kinky. You know what? There's enough space in this world not to need to be trying to convert everyone, because it's just not cricket at the end of the day. So, couple of messages for me. First of all, most importantly of all, stay safe. Now, that isn't just your exposure risk to the virus. That's obviously your mental health as well. Do what you can to make sure that you are in the best possible place. These are challenging times, but that doesn't mean you need to just crawl up under the duvet. You know what? Set yourself some goals, some ambitions, and see what you can achieve during this time. You know what? A whole bunch of us have learned new skills. I'd never live streamed before 2020. And all of a sudden, doing it all the time. In fact, I think it's fair to say I don't think I've had a weekend off since I actually started live streaming. And that's quite a phenomenal run, to be perfectly honest. 57 live streams today. Rather impressive. Outside of that, stay clean. And you know what? That's not just hands, face, space. That's also take this time to clean your toys. You're going to hear this again from the Kink Shrink later in the 2 o'clock session. But why don't you use this time to make sure that your toys are clean and well looked after? You know, condition that leather, rub in a little bit of treatment to it, and bring it back to its glory. Same with your latex. Make sure that everything is in good condition, that it's cleaned properly, that it's put away correctly, that it's not touching against metal and it's going to get eroded. You know what? You might not be wearing stuff, but it doesn't mean you can't look after it. At the end of the day, it's how we treat our toys that matters in this world. Outside of that, please be supportive where you can, particularly to the stall holders who've had an awful year. So even if all you can do is send them a supportive message, remember, they're not working for large corporates. It's not exactly as if there is a central HR department that looks after all of the flogger manufacturers. So reach out, help them if you can. And you know what? Sometimes just that quick message, hey, I'm thinking of you, looking forward to seeing you as soon as possible. That's all it takes to just kind of pick someone else's day up. You know what? Be one of those decent human beings. Reach out and be supportive, because you know what? There's far too many cockwombles who'll have a good kicking at the slightest opportunity. Ooh, did anyone say crumbs for my chums? Isn't it funny? But there we go. So please be one of those supportive, awesome, decent human beings. If you can, share some of their content on social media. It's been difficult us putting our normal flow of customers in front of them, and that's why we're asking you to help out in that mission. You know, spread the good word, help out where you can. You know what? If you've had a birthday during this difficult time, as most of us have, why not think about shopping with the stores? At the end of the day, you know you're going to get something that you want, something you look forward to. And you know what? Most of the Kink items are gifts that we'll keep on giving. Because you know what? You give someone a spanking paddle, and you know what? You might be lucky and you might actually get it used on you. It's not exactly as if it's the kind of thing that you use once and it goes back in the cupboard. No, a lifetime of joy from a quality product. And that's why so many of the stores actually put a lifetime guarantee on their workwear. Because you know what? If you manage to wear it out, if you manage to break it through normal use, then you deserve another one. Quite often it's as simple as that. Because most of these items, rock solid. Simple as that. Outside of that, if you are shopping, then in the comments section, leave a comment. I'm not being a mug, and we'll enter you into a draw for a free limited edition LAMchester mug. Simple as that. You know what? It's the big giveaway that's going on around here. If you are watching and you want to take a selfie, I know selfies aren't normally allowed at LAM, but hey, if you're listening to us, you're either on your phone walking around our event or you're actually at home. If it's your own home, you know what? You make the rules. If you want to take a picture, send it in to us. All we ask you to do is hashtag it LAM Live, tag us in the picture. That way we can find you, enter you into the draw, and send you out a mug. Simple as that. Don't forget, there's also a Telegram group chat that runs throughout lockdown, a place to hang out with other kinky-minded people. And you know what? If you're in your latex finest or your leather finest or you're dressed up to your finest, take a picture, send it in, because each month the best dressed is going to win. It's simple as that. Outside of that, another thing to look forward to, we were going to hold this in March of this year, but you know what? Wasn't going to be feasible with the restrictions, but the hotel, they have been awesome. They've moved us forward to the 19th to the 22nd of November. Now, funny, I always seem to pick the weekends that fall very, very close to, some strange times of the year. Well, we've just gone past Beltane. Funnily enough, the autumnal equinox happens to be that weekend. What a great time to be looking at change in life and starting things afresh. The last one back in March 2018, that was one of the most awesome weekends. Well worth looking up the pictures of that, particularly if you've ever wondered what it's like to do rope bondage out in the snow. Because you know what? My deal with the weather gods, well, I think I excelled it that weekend. We got snowed in. We thought it was going to be like The Shining. Oh my God, it was just absolutely amazing. I still have to apologise to Lady Vale for interrupting her whip workshop by having an impromptu snowball fight on the back lawn with a naked young lady. But damn, it was good fun. So there are the details. The bad news, however, if you want to stay on site, day late, dollar short. All of those rooms have gone. However, if you manage to get one, don't worry. We'll be sending out closer to the time how many extra tickets you need. And if restrictions allow, we're going to have off-site tickets as well. So you can stay in one of the local establishments. You know what? If you're really bold, you might even be able to find a camping site that's still open. It could be a bit chilly at that time of the year, though. So, what else is going on at the moment? Well, this is the schedule for LAM Live at the moment. So, hey, we seem to be getting back into the swing of in-person events, and that's why we started to do fusions. So, on first Sundays and fourth Sundays, alongside the LAM and LAMchester events, we're going to be coming at you with a live fusion edition. So, you know what? You'll still be able to catch the workshops. You'll still be able to catch healthy mental practices. You'll still be able to catch all the latest and greatest if you're not able to come out at the moment. And we'll keep that running as long as we can. And then on the second, third, and fifth Sundays, you know, the Sundays, the boring ones that we don't do anything, well, we're going to come at you with a quickie edition for at least another couple of weeks, just to make sure that everyone is entertained. And while not everyone has been able to get out and get their Pfizer or their AstraZeneca or whatever jab they're going to bring along next, there are still people who haven't had their first one, and therefore, you know what? They may be still stuck indoors. So we're going to do what we can to make sure we don't leave anyone behind through this process. Here's the details of the the Jitsi chat that runs alongside this. Bit of a watch party. I'm not sure if we've got anyone in the room at the moment. It has gone a little bit quiet around there since, you know, beer gardens have started up again. But if you've been finding that useful, let us know. One of the awesome stalls who are downstairs at the moment, Ironic Crafts, joined us in 2020 all the way down from Scotland, and oh my god, have they embraced the concept of working with LAM. Wow, such amazing colours, forms, textures coming out of these guys. I really have been enjoying it. In fact, I can see actually in the Jitsi chat, it looks like we've got Fudge's workshop today, although he doesn't seem to be around at the second. But there we go. I'll check in a little bit later. As I said, we're also running a Telegram group chat, a great way to connect and chat with other like-minded Kinksters. The only one rule of this one, be a decent human being. You want to talk to someone in private, ask in public first. That could be something as simple as, hey, having a bad day, anyone out there who can talk to me? And you know what? Someone will probably step up. But if you're one of those creepy cockwombles who's crawling around trying to send everyone private messages, well, you know what? We hear about it. You won't be welcome for very long, because you know what? No one needs this kind of hassle on top of 2021. Simple as that. Unfortunately, at this stage, I won't be able to play you this awesome advert from Godamishi, the top pegging positions. But I tell you what, I'll make sure we come back to that next week. If you are watching and you want to take a selfie, then hey, it's your home. You're welcome to do so. Just take it, hashtag it LAM Live, tag us in the picture. That's where we'll find it. And on Mondays, we'll do a draw. The winners get a limited edition LAMchester mug. Couldn't say any fairer than that. So what I'm going to try and do now is fuse things back together, and that should give me the ability to play some of the content from Phil. Now, let me just find where I need to be. And it should be around here. Unfortunately, give me a few moments. I'm just trying to run things through simultaneously. Unfortunately, it's not as if I'm in my normal studio where, I have a 70-inch plasma screen on one wall. That makes it really phenomenally easy to find the exact nanosecond in the footage that you're looking for. But there we go. So let me just try and squeeze this on a touch more. I'm trying to find the start of that advert, and it's very, very close now. Here we go, and this should enable me to transition in a few seconds. Let me just hit the right buttons. There we go. And we we should be ready to transition.
Today, you know what? Why marathon? 54 of these next week, 55. Quite shocking, really. But I don't think there are. Well, I think I'm probably the only one who's managed to make every single one, apart from the one I'm a little bit late to because I understand.
Anytime.
And if you're looking for a place to hang out and chat, a bit of a virtual lunch, whatever you want to call it, Zoom session, whatever, but it's on Jitsi. This is the details of that, and I'm going to post that and cut and paste it down into the screen so that everyone can have access to it. There we go. Just a place to hang out to like-minded people at difficult times, and you know what? Chew the fat, probably laugh at half the shit I'm saying. Like, looks did I use my phone now again? Worse I could say. There we go. And one of the awesome things that did happen in 2020 was Ironic Crafts got in touch. A manufacturer of impact play toys from recycling or upcycling was the balance. And one of the awesome things they've done is a mini workshop for us. You know what? This one, massive impact. So do us a favour, if you want to catch the content, wait till a bit later, and then you can use the pause button to make sure you get the screen. So it's a little bit like those old video games programs where you had to record it and do the data version. Yeah, here we go. And if you're looking for a way to connect and keep in touch with the community during these difficult times, then we also have a Telegram group with ones where we'll chat with text, sticker swapping, etc. But if you join it, do us a favour. Be a decent human being. Read the rules. There's only one. It's simple. You want to talk to people in private, ask them in public first. Simple as that. Don't be one of those people who trolls groups like passively in these difficult times, because it's not necessary. We won't engage with it. We'll just simply block you. Simple as that. Dead easy. Voila. No skin off my nose. And you know what? You can be an angry dinosaur. You can go rah 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 all you like. Skin is in the slightest. Because at the end of the day, you probably weren't one of the people who come out to be in our community. You know, sometimes you have to set these boundaries. You have to set these parameters so that people know. If you're amongst us, one of us, that's fucking cool. You know the rules, you play correctly. If you're on the outside of the fence, well, we're not policing them. We have no control over them. We have no real influence over them other than we're their targets. So then,
I'm gonna enjoy the video. welcome to the mission. Here we create, scoop, mold, and make all of our sex toys we want to use. Toys we want to use as a couple, toys we make for the If you like sex toys, and all kinky things, subscribe to our channel and drop us a like. You need to speak better because I don't understand that. That's right. Mumble bumps can add to the sexual pleasure while also making it quiet. As I've said, the Bulgari is all great for anything. The Bulgari has a leather strap with a buckle fastened back or easy adjustment attached to each side of the strap. The strip of the ribbon has studs on each end for easy removal. The rubber strip also makes the Bulgari more comfortable in your mouth. Do you agree? See, it's really comfortable. You won't even know where it is. The ball is made of plastic. Flexible. It's flexible. The ball is made of platinum silicone, meaning that it's hypoallergenic, tasteless, and odorless. If your partner is gagged, safety words are not the best options, so make sure there's something visual you recognize. If your play includes being more restrained, then the tip is from Jess Wild was holding an object that you can drop, something like a cat ball with bells inside. Clean is super easy. Just unclip the ball from the strap and wash using warm salt water. The leather strap should be cleaned. Yeah, but the damp pump. Yeah, that allows the ball out to air dry. Don't mind me though. If you find your very own Bulgari today, simply click the link in the description below. If you like this video, hit that like button. And as always, please leave your comment in the comment section below. Great walking with you.
And if you're watching, don't forget, selfies are more than welcome and could in fact win you a free mug. All you need to do, take your picture, post it up on social media, hashtag it LAM Live, tag us, it doesn't matter if it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any other platform where we're present. You'll get entered into a draw on Monday. You could win yourself one of our mugs. Simple as that. Remember, stay home, stay safe, stay kinky.
Here. I thought I'd do a little voice update about what's going to happen with the brand for 2021. For those who don't know about Phoenix in London, we're an alternative leather fetish clothing company that specialises in menswear, womenswear, garments for those in between. But we're also going to expand, especially in 2021, into other items of style and fetish. It was actually Cosmic who organises London Alternative Market, who commissioned a new rope bag to be made at the end of 2020. And this reinvigorated my desire to make Kings of London more of a lifestyle brand, rather than just a clothing brand. And as many of you know, there are plenty of people out there, mainly LAM store holders, who make and sell the most amazing equipment, tools, floggers. When you think about going to a club, how do you transport those goodies to the club? You want to transport them in something that's safe for the toys, safe for you, and looks stylish, right? So this is something that I'm definitely looking forward to for 2021, is making more stylish tool bags, boat bags, and things like that. I will, of course, still carry on making corsets. I'm so passionate about corsetry and making corsets that are for men and for women and for those in between, and that are different from the normal bust corsetry that you get. And then, no doubt, my mind will come up with some devious clothing items as well to complement the corsets and also to go with the equipment bags that I intend to start designing. With little access to clubs and going out, it's been quite difficult to be really creative for the past few months. So if you've got any feedback, input, ideas about what you want to see from Kings of London over the next 12 months or so, then please just get in touch. And I hope you're all safe and well, and coping with this crazy, crazy world as well as possible. And I look forward to seeing you all in 2021 at some point. It's safe to do so.
Hi, and welcome to LAM, such as it is. What LAM likes to do is provide you with a space, place, and a time to express yourself and how you want to be within consensual bounds. We can't do that at the moment because of the quarantine, so what we're doing is a virtual LAM instead, and welcome to that. We've got a lot going on. We've got stall holders on display. We've got different forums, different rooms. We can still provide you with workshops. So we are hoping that it provides you with at least a little bit of a fix to get you through this really dark time. So if you go onto the forums, you go onto wherever you got this video from, you'll find links to Zoom for the workshops, you'll find links to stall holders, you'll find everything that we can possibly get together at the short notice that we've had to organise something like this. If you have any suggestions, if you have any comments to make on the format that might improve it, then yeah, please do let us know. LAM is very heavy on consent. We like to make sure that everyone feels like they are comfortable and like they're not going to be pressured by someone. Consent is like a cup of tea. You can offer someone a cup of tea, but they're not obliged to say yes. They can say, you know what, I don't like tea. Tea's rubbish. I want coffee. That's fine. That's their decision. You know, they're not under any kind of social obligation to accept your tea. In the same way, you know, someone says, "Oh yeah, I do want a cup of tea." There's no reason for you to say you must finish that cup of tea. They're allowed to say, "Actually, I'm halfway through it. Oh, I don't know. It's not agreeing with me. It's not sitting with me. I didn't want it as much as I did originally." And that's fine for them too. That's totally acceptable. You can't accept a cup of tea if you're unconscious. And as one of my crewmates would rightly point out at this point, please don't be unconscious at one of our events. That's not okay. We like to give you these hints, tips when you come to LAM, so that you can navigate the world of kink safely. Because ultimately, it's up to us to self-police it. If you come up against a problem, if you let us know, we can do something about it. If we don't know, we can't do anything about it. But we will be there to have your back. There have been times where people have violated the rules of LAM and literally been thrown out of the venue. That's hilarious, by the way. Really recommend just being a voyeur for that experience if you ever get the opportunity. But that really does bring me nicely on to the rules of LAM for when we do go there, when we do go back. First and foremost is no photography. No photos. No photos. We say no photos. When I'm there in person, I get everyone to repeat it back to me after a 1, 2, 3, because it's such an important rule. You see, if you're just taking a cheeky selfie in the toilets, and someone wants it in the background, just passing by, and that photo ends up somewhere on social media, on the Twitters or Instagrams or whatever else, then someone could recognise that person's background on there, and if they're in a caring profession, they deal with vulnerable people, they could lose their entire career. Doctors, nurses, lawyers, carers, teachers. All those people we're really relying on at the moment are really vulnerable in the kink world, and it's up to us to protect them. There are some exceptions to the photography rule. We do have crew photographers on standby. We have crew who can help you take photos if on your phone, if you want to take a photo of something, or you're looking at a store and think, I don't know if my friend wants to put this up there, but in green or in purple. We can help that. Okay, we can give you that assistance. The crew works really, really hard to get you through the day like that. We put in a lot of effort just because we want you to have the best day possible. This is new to us, so be patient. This virtual event. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" They go, "Oh my God, yes, I would fucking love a cup of tea. Thank you." Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, "Would you like a cup of tea?" They're like, I'm not really sure. Then you can make them a cup of tea or not, but be aware they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important part, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you weren't entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say no thank you, then don't make them tea at all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea. Okay. They might say, "Yes, please. That's kind of you." And then when the tea arrives, They actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone all the effort of making the tea. They remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time that it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and it's okay for people to change their mind. And you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they're unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea. And they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea. They said yes. But in the time it took you to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down. Make sure the unconscious person is safe. And this is the important part again. Don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but just people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and passed out before they finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they're safe. Because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it going, but who wanted tea last week? Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat going, but who wanted tea last night? But if you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you're able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand it when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea.
Are you going to be going live any time soon?
No. I'll give you a shout before I do.
Because I just want to call Bill up in a second and go through plans with him.
Did I tell you about the feedback I got from a customer of theirs?
That's for a food.
Be Impossibles.
No.
Okay. Apparently someone went in there for lunch the other week.
Yeah.
Over an hour and their food still didn't turn up. Then they were like, want a refund. They went, yeah, email the management. And when they emailed the management, the response that came back was really fucking shitty. So just heads up, you might have to be a little bit on top of them. The person thinks it may be that they just hadn't got up to speed since coming back off lockdown, etc.
Yeah. Well, once we know in 2 weeks' time exactly what the guidelines are, then I'm going to have the conversations of, right, this is what let's talk about. This is my plan. This is what you want to do. How do we serve the people quickly, get them turned around and out of their table so as you can refill them? That's what this is all going to be about. Because otherwise you know what you get with that, especially in Manchester, being honest,
Some cunts, it's they're all fucking go.
that one beer sandwich and oogles everybody walking past, and that's their kid, you know.
No, I don't think we're going to get too much of that. And it definitely appears that people are coming in early so that they do their shopping and then do the socialising bit afterwards. I'm starting to see an increasing number of events that are the wrong side of the legislation, though.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, they said to me this morning, look, is there any way we can do teas and coffee? So I can't risk it. I'd love for you to do tea and coffee for all of that. I'd love for them to spend money. Unless you want to set up outside by our tent. Take all. They're still in the same venue, they're not taking away.
Yeah.
See the players.
Yeah.
Hello again from Affordable Lemongrass. Well, as you may have heard, there's some great news if you come to visit us in the local alternative market, because the markets will be starting again very soon. And we have 5 of these LAM £5 discount vouchers to give away. To win one, all you need to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and either leave a comment or make sure that your subscription is public so we can actually see who you are and hope you subscribe to our channel. Just visit our website at affordableladder.co.uk and click on the link that says come and visit our YouTube channel. Once we've reached 100 subscribers, we'll draw the 5 lucky winners, and you can use the vouchers as a discount on any purchase in London Alternative Market, or to get yourself a free entry to the market first. Whichever you do, we hope to see you soon, and we look forward to your customers. Visit our new revised and updated website at www.affordableladder.co.uk.
This is Daisy from Daisy's Vloggers. I've been trading for around 6 years now. I sell mostly floggers and whips and plus-size ladies clothing. The whips that I trade are all made by Alpha Whips. He's based in Germany, he's my best friend, and he makes absolutely superb whips. I love what he makes. He's so creative, his colours are fantastic. The whips that he makes are really, really top-notch. My floggers are all made by hand. I select finest quality leathers, I hand turn the wood myself, and I also use really lovely shiny metal handles. I love my job. It gives me freedom of expression, it gives me freedom of time. I like being creative, I like trying to do something that nobody else is doing. I love going to the markets, I love meeting people. I don't think there is a better job for me anywhere. It's just fantastic. What's the best feedback I've ever received? Well, one night I was at a club and I was admiring a pair of floggers that a young man was using. I asked him where he got them from, and he said he really couldn't remember he'd been gifted them, but he could put me in touch with a really good flogger maker who he was close friends with. And after a long time waxing lyrical about this particular maker, I asked, well, who is it? And he said, Daisy. And I said, I don't know you. He said, I don't know you either. I said, yes, but I'm Daisy. It was really nice to get the compliments, and the poor young man blushed very, very red. But yes, I can make floggers. And if you have something in mind that you'd like me to make, I will make you something. It will be my pleasure. You can contact me outside of LAM either by my website, which is daisiesvloggers.com. I'm on Facebook as Daisy's Vloggers. I'm on Twitter as Daisy's Vloggers. I'm on Instagram as Daisy's Vloggers, and I'm on FetLife as Daisy's Vloggers. So you can always get hold of me one way or the other. I am around. It's just me in the business, but I do pick up the mails pretty quickly. Hopefully the website's up and running now. It's a brand new one. Had a few teething problems, but hopefully everything's working now. Otherwise, go through LAM, and one of the LAM crew will get in touch with me, and I can get back in touch with you. Thank you very much for your interest.
Are you a superhero? Are you fighting for justice in this world? Do you want to kick COVID's butt? Then grab a mask to outlast this pandemic. If you're into the things of punk, fetish, gender fuckery, or neurodiversity, this is for you. Come, join the other misfits, freaks and weirdos, and celebrate your own unique expression!
Hi everyone, it's Bill again. Just want to talk to you a little bit about our traders at LAM. Traders in the Kink community are a pillar that upholds the entire community. They produce and supply all of our equipment, toys. Without them, we'd be screwed. We wouldn't have anything to play with. And at this incredibly difficult time, we ask that if you can afford to, if you are in a position that where you can most of these traders are self-employed. They are not looking forward to the same benefits that most people get during this quarantine period. They are also looking at being, very, very detailed in events they can get to, things like that. So we really want to support them, because without them, there's a hell of a lot less fun. So please have a look around, go to the trade stalls, links, go to their shops, their Etsy places. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. These people are some of the most experienced people in the kink world that I have met in my 15 years of running around acting like a complete brat. And I love them all. They are amazing people, and we want to be able to do our best for them. Also, just a small note to say, if you see something and think, oh, that looks nice, but yeah, no, I want it in blue to go with my outfit, I want it in red to go with my outfit, I want it, just ask. Most of these people make these things by hand themselves, and yes, that does mean they have devilishly inventive imagination. So yeah, go ahead, ask them, do your thing, let them do their thing, let us do our thing. Let's live together through this crisis. Thanks very much.
Want a screw? We got you covered. My name is Adam, and today we're going to be talking about the Godbiche screw. You screw, roll the clip. If this is your first time watching, then welcome to Godbiche. Here we create, sculpt, mold, and make all of our own sex toys. Toys we want as people, toys we want as a couple, toys made for the purpose of pleasure. Plus, in a billion beautiful colours. So if you're like, high five sex toys, then subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. That said, let's get into it. The screw is Godbiche's hybrid texture toy that takes inspiration from the twist textures of the XI to the thrusting sensations and texture of the Absalom, all combined into one beautiful screw. Screw is made for those people who enjoy strong, pronounced texture sensations through thrusting and penetration, but also want a little bit more through twisting. The screw is made in a platinum-grade silicone, comes with a large flared base, making it safe for anal use and harness compatible, comes with a Godbiche lifetime guarantee, and is available in any colour imaginable. You can buy the screw today at Godbiche and enjoy the world of this hybrid, twist, bumpy texture. Best screw ever.
And that brings us through to, a couple of seconds before 2 o'clock, which means we would normally be going across to healthy mental practices with the Kink Shrink, but unfortunately tested positive for COVID the other day and is not feeling up to having a public session at the second. So what we've done is we've delved into the archive, found something that's appropriate for the day, and we're going to do a replay on the Clearing Consenting Kink workshop. From January 2020. You remember those heady days, prior to March 2020, when we were all a little bit, COVID, what's that? Why would people want to eat bats? Bit of mystery. But there we go. So without further ado, I can now transfer this across and play the content from Clear on consent in Kink with the Kink Shrink. Please, if you are a fan of the Kink Shrink, not feeling very well at the moment, put a message. Send a status update, comment on one of her writings, just to show that you're caring and giving some support. I'm going to have to can this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's not working. It's not working. It's great without.
No. Picking up that. Why is he picking up that but not pushing that out?